If you're new to this channel, again, please subscribe. We are right now at 20 subscribers. I have not checked, maybe we're more, but please subscribe, show some support, some love, and if you must, the notifications. Comment down below whether it's good, whether it's moderate. We don't want bad comments, we don't like bad energy, otherwise you get blocked, innit? But besides that, you're looking at the Queens Gambit. So basically we're talking about d4, and if you are surprised, I played the Queens Gambit, I think moderately, almost more than 500 games on chess.com, and also more than I think 80 games over the board. So I'm just gonna be showing you what I think when I'm playing Queen's Gambit. Then an actual game where I'm gonna be playing against my opponent, who I don't know. I would love to say a subscriber, but I don't have that kind of connection with my subscribers yet. But normally they go d5, we go c4, and in this position we have I think it's I would say 3 options at a certain level. Let's say me, I'm intermediate, they'll say 1500, 1600, 1700, 1800s. Most guys would play, something like this, trying to attack here. This does not matter because the queen can always take, or leave it there, and this can always take. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't matter to take that. So there's this move, and usually, which is the weirdest move, this is actually not the weirdest move. The weirdest move is actually bishop here. This is the weirdest move. Before they move this pawn, they put the bishop here to avoid having the structure where the bishop is entrapped. For some people, they can't play with this type of structure. Now it kind of turns into what I would love to call a French type of position, in which it can also transpose into a semi-Slav where this bishop is trapped there. It's not a Slav anymore, it's a semi-Slav. But going back, the idea, today we're going to be looking at the accepted. I don't know if my opponent is going to play the accepted or not. In the accepted, I played this, and normally in this position I face different moves, and the move that I've lost to majority of the time is this move, where my opponent is, let me just adjust that, where my opponent is trying to, first of all, this check there, which kind of transposes into the names, or some people would say after playing with the knight here. Then there's some ideas of the names, or pushing that down, this having, like, there's some ideas that kind of resonate. Of course, there's no bishop thinking, but yeah, there's some ideas which goes into this. Of course, the bishop can take, but I would advise you maybe to, because I played this, I played takes, I played every different line in this position to know that you get different outcomes. You know what I mean? And the second move that I gave the most is this. I've lost to this move because, of course, you don't want to take immediately, because if you take, the knight takes, and now you are down a pawn. You understand? So you don't want to do that, but the whole game will be now difficult, because now your center is blown open, and your opponent has his e pawn and the c pawn, and she's just gonna end up having struggle for the center, like, weirdly. You know what I mean? Again, intermediate analysis. And then I think low-key, after takes, there's also after, in this position, after this, I think there's also this. Yeah, this idea is to get rid of your castling rights. Obviously, I think almost everybody knows this idea. White kind of starts off in a bad position where their king is in the center. You're vulnerable. Your opponent can have quick development. There's this castle that side. Also, there's going to be this maybe, and something like this, and castle that side. Either way they castle, they're going to be safe, and you have these 2 weaknesses that you can't really protect, because you can try to protect this one with this one. It's too hard to protect double pawns when your opponent has a good pawn structure. So okay, there's this one, but it's still playable to an extent where in this continuation that I would see, let's say my opponent's attacking there, I'm obviously gonna go after this. My opponent, if they want this pawn badly, they're obviously gonna try this idea, trying to go after the pawn, or they're gonna try this idea, which is the simplest, is trying to attack the pawn there. But as you can see, it kind of gives me an advantage, because in this position I have to play something like king. The king has to move. Again, you must always make sure the king is safety. If your king stays here too long, the rook comes and attacks. Yeah, I mean, this is not theory. I mean, if we are not going to theory lines in this position, we're normally talking maybe C. Yeah, maybe C. Yeah, because we're talking about this type of lines where now you have to calculate as well, because after takes, there's takes. Yeah, so what are you doing? You get me? So you can't really be greedy. So now here you have to think, if I take, I'm losing the castle rights. Are you willing to do that? And if I don't take, what am I doing? Of course you're gonna produce the knight. The knight goes there. You know, of course you're gonna produce the knight. Take that back. You're gonna produce the knight kind of defense there. And your opponent still adds more pressure, because in this position you're still not allowed to take, because you can take back in the center. In fact, in this position I would argue that black can also take with the knight, assuming that, you know, after this the center is his essentially, and all he has to do is support this with the bishop. For the bishop, I would argue that in this structure black is kind of better. He is better. I argue that. But yeah, those type of lines can arise from a position like this. But also here there's this, you know, there's this. You're gonna kick out this knight. Now this knight has to move twice. It has to choose its squares carefully. If it goes here, it's getting kicked out. Easily. So it has to go somewhere like here where I cannot kick it out easily. And also it's defending this. How do I deal with this? Of course we deal with this with the check. The check obviously attacks both of the pieces, but it's not doing anything. After this you have an attack there. But I think the check is not actually the right move. There I made a mistake. Oh actually yeah, the right move is weirdly e5. Yeah, e5. Weird move. E5 on knight here. Because this pawn, since they're doubled, they're actually classified as one pawn. So they're not really gonna do you too much trouble. You can always pick them up with the rook after you dissolve the bishop, and the rook comes there and attacks. But enough of the analysis. I just analyzed the accepted. We're gonna analyze the non-accepted, which is just give you a brief analysis of it. Is this in this position again, it's vague amount of moves, and the most, which is the most recommended by most people, is this one, which is the Queens Gambit declined, where you as white, I would recommend you also go to this type of structure where you could kind of enter lines, where you could kind of consider entering into the castle end, where if your opponent does this, there'll be this type of structure. In fact, you can even ignore this and go for this type of idea where this idea comes from a game from Magnus Carlsen and Ding Liren, where, you know, they played this in the, I think it's a Sinkfood Cup where Ding Liren won with the white pieces and Magnus Carlsen lost because of this structure. Of course this pawn is on g3, but yeah, that's kind of games that you get from the decline. Decline is very sharp in a way, because the position kind of stays almost equal and is expecting for one person to launch. In this position, Magnus launched with this, and Ding Liren did not respond by taking. Instead, he responded by doing this, not allowing the push down, you know, because if you take, you're allowing your opponent to have this. In fact, in this position, you could argue that most people on my level, when they take, they don't understand that the bishop is kind of now stuck in this position, because you would say, okay, I'm getting ready to kick out the bishop. No, you're not, because this pawn is protected by the bishop now, and you can't really do anything, because anytime you try to play this move, it always takes, and you can't take back because you lose your rook. You see, now the ideas play together, you know what I mean? Of course you can win the move with that, but you're losing this as well. What exactly are you playing for now? Like, that's the question. What exactly are you playing for? So there are those type of ideas in the declined. Of course, you can, a lot of people are being in the top position, I think. But yeah, now we're gonna play a game against an actual opponent, because I just explained to you how to play the accepted position according to me. So we continue the game. E4, d5, c4, the normal moves, takes, this. Now we have entered the Slav / accepted gambit. You get me? But the difference in this structure is that prior to this, I had mentioned that in this position it's best for a player to always do this, and it is, because this is much simpler. It is simpler to manage. It's simpler to manage this because it's easy. Like, you have easy ideas in and out. Like, the ideas are simple, the board is still open, and you have the center all to yourself. All to yourself. This is the center. You have all the center, and no piece can come here. No point can come there. It could be taken. So you're good. But in this position, I thought, why not? I remove that move. I thought in this position, why not do something different? And also show you that in this type of structure, you can also do this. You can also play knight here. Most people do this, so that they can just keep the pawn there, and later on go after it, because it's not really going anywhere. And if you try to reinforce it, maybe by bringing this move, it can easily be dismantled by a4. So the game continues. Obviously, there's a4 is played. I take, the knight is developed, and this idea here is for me to try to take this pawn, and the only way to protect this pawn is by this, or in fact not even by this. In fact, the funny thing is that if you play this move, you're not doing anything, because with this you can't take, because you lose the rook. You get, so I can't really do that. So okay, in this game we continue. He plays the bishop. I prep. Now in this position we go back, and I looked in this line, and I was like, let me breathe. Let's take our time, because most people, they don't take their time. Most people, they don't take their time to think. So in this position, I was thinking of different ideas, and most of my focus was on this pawn. So I was like, you know what? Let me calm down and forget about the pawn, and instead, what I must do is prep my pawn, my pieces. This piece is not developed. This is not developed, and the pin is not developed. I need to connect these rooks. You understand? So I was like, you know what was the first move that I can do and also maintain an advantage? And the move that I mentioned was the bishop, because not only is this move good, I'm controlling an open file. It's open now. It's an open. So I had to see that. So the game continues. He blocks. He also tries. He imitates. He tries to also take that file. But the difference now is this. This file is protected and can be can also be buffed up with protection, so it cannot as easily be taken over. I continue with the bishop. He blocks this bishop, another mistake, and I find d5. d5. This is d5. Oh, is it? This is d5. Yeah. I found d5. I'm getting confused by the moves. I found d5, and d5 is a good move because I'm questioning my opponent. Where do you want to go? Because if you go here, I have a move like this, getting ready to attack there. But after this move, I'm prepping this and getting ready to pick up the rook. I'm now prepping different moves. You get me? So of course my opponent chose to protect the rook instead of the pawn, and I took the pawn. But this was where I also thought, when I took the pawn, I was like, maybe there's an opportunity to take this. But actually, there's no opportunity to take that, because actually in this position it's kind of like actually better for me, because not only are you semi-trapped, in this position you lose your casting rights, and I'm in a better position overall. The castle here, after your move here, let's say is giving a notion of type of position that can arise. Maybe this, and I'm kind of looking at moves like this. Not really, because nowadays I can't really do that. But okay, in this position maybe something different. In fact, in this position, this is a move. This is a move. I think I'm losing the thread, but I don't think this is a move, because after something like this, I'm up a pawn. But you kind of get the idea. In this position, I'm good. I think I've gone wrong in this position. That's why I think that's why I was afraid of this type of position, because I'm not really confident in. I don't even know what to start doing. I think maybe the start is good, but after this type of development, my next plan is to try to maybe control, maybe like this, preventing the bishop. In the advantage drops. I don't really know what's the move here. I think maybe it's this. But then you're questioning yourself, like, Yeah, apparently it's the best. It's the rook forcing the this to choose, because now I'm forcing it. Because no, the reason why you can't go here is because you lose the rook. Now you go into that position. Just check there, but easily block this and this. So now I have to come up with another plan. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on indeed. There's a lot going on. But yeah, I didn't want this position specifically. So I decided, in fact, I didn't want this position, but it was not up to me, it was up to my opponent. Either they can capture and lead us to that type of position. But my opponent did not go that far. He developed this knight. I developed my knight back, protecting the pawn. My isolated queen pawn. The game continues, attacks my isolated queen pawn. And I'm like, you know what? You just blundered, buddy. You just blundered, buddy. You just gave me a knight. Just gave me something that's good. I'm winning the war. I'm winning. Because in this position, you are not supposed to be greedy and try to go after my pawn. In this position, you're actually supposed to develop the bishop. This is the move that you're supposed to play. This is the move that you're supposed to play, so you can get ready to castle and have his king safe. At least. But buddy, he was not. He was greedy. He was greedy. Like me, sometimes. And he went after the pawn, and he loses the pony. The only thing that can take the pawn. Okay, the game continues. We leave the voice. Do those things. The game continues, and I remember saying by Hikaru, where he said, and also Levi Roseman in his road to GM must follow that, and also go see that. He said, when you're up material, trade off. So I tried to trade off the queen, the most powerful piece. There's not this move, of course, because there's takes. So of course, that's a good thing. So of course, the queens come off. There's takes. Sorry for the lag. Again, yeah. Okay, this takes. The game continues. Takes, castle, there. And in this position now, the moves are more or less same. And the reason why I moved my knight. The reason why I moved my knight here. Yeah, again, it's slow. Sorry about that. Laptop. What they call this, bit rate and all that. Yeah, kind of low. But in this position, I thought my knights can easily connect in this type of fashion. This is a good connection of knights, and this will be very strong knights. This knight controls here, and this knight also controls here. So it's like these knights are very much colonizing my opponent's side. I don't want to say that word, but my opponent's side. Yeah. So the game continues. He takes, of course, takes this, and I'm like, that I'm entrapping this. My opponent does not understand what's going on. So instead of trying to maybe develop this to protect, like, okay, he did this, but actually you're supposed to move this. I think that's the idea that I saw in my head, to at least be in the game still. My opponent goes there, is check. My opponent goes there instead. I think in this position, the best move would have been to go here. Why do I say that's the best move? It's because I'm attacking this knight, and you have this. Anytime that I think of taking this, you can always take back with this, but this is always under attack, so I have to move it, and that's the tempo. And now you can actually move your knight somehow, or even move a rook. I guess you can even try to move a rook, but even at least attack this other knight here, do something, or even do this. You know what I mean? It's also this, get me? Because assuming after, not even assuming, let's say I play something like this, there's this move, and now it's kind of cagey, because now I'm forced to take, and I'm in a dire situation. What am I gonna do here? Am I gonna play this? So there's this now. I guess logically I can't really lose the knight, but in my head different plans were happening. So in this position my knights were very good, and I was happy about that. My opponent goes wrong, and I realize it. I bring in my rook, the trade off, takes, bring in my knight, and this, I was part of this move when I played it. This. I was part of this move when I played it, because many people will be afraid of losing either one of these knights, because that's the only pieces that are holding my position. But I was proud when I made this move. This, I maneuvered what we call maneuvering. When you listen to Hikaru explain Levis games, he talks about maneuvering and positional type of positions. I realized in this position, move the rook again, check, it moves, take, is that. And in this position, I was afraid now that, you know what, if I trade off easily, this king is always going to be connected to this two knights. So what am I going to do? So I was like, you know what, trade. Let's get into those positions. I want those type of positions. And I was like, cool, take this, but I'll take this. Then in this end game, I'm the one up a piece. You can come here, but now my piece is going to like this one. I'm going to carry the pass on that side. So I was kind of happy with, if that was going to be the outcome, I was kind of happy. So the game continues. He does not want that. My knights are safe. I maneuver, tail of the game, maneuver. I takes this, and in this position, my opponent runs out of time. I think in this position, in here, I win on time. I could have easily checkmated my opponent. After, like, let's say he moves there is this, he moves there, then there's something like this. I think this is like checkmate in 10 because of how the knights are so coordinated. I think I should bring in the knights somewhere there, but I'm not gonna do that. Checkmate in 9 moves the way. But again, I'll say I would like to promote the Queens Gambit Accepted. I would like to make a course one day, maybe when I'm like 30 or something. But this is how you actually win, So it was a complicated game and a very bad analysis, but so you win. So you win in the Accepted. Sometimes you play your own way, but I'm just trying to promote that at an intermediate level. If you have 1200, 1300, 1400, and over until like maybe 1900, the Queen's Gambit is kind of a good weapon to use to increase your rating. Was for me to break that 1200 barrier, I had to change openings from E4 to D4. So I think you should do the same. Anyways, with that note, subscribe.